I have Marcus here, Guiliano from Aroma Time, and he's going to talk to us about some things he's working on. And one is a book. This is your second
Yes,
book,
my
Marcus?
second
Is
book.
that true?
My second book's about a month away, and last year I wrote a book, published a book last January called 50 Mistakes That Business Owners Make. And so I had so much fun writing that, and there's a website that goes along with it, 50mistakes.com,
Very cool.
and it's all free. The whole website is free. You can get on there, any business, local business. I get emails from all over the world from people that are on that website.
Well, the food business is a tough business, so this is very helpful, I imagine, to many people. So
Yes.
what are the biggest mistakes? That,
There's
business
so many
owners make?
mistakes in that 50 in the top 50. Everything from just business owners not having daily rituals to business owners not taking time for themselves, which they think is impossible. And as a restaurateur, I get away a lot. I get away every other month. I try to, and
You have to,
three
right, to
times a year,
recharge.
I'm on a major trip 3 times a year across the country somewhere. And of course, we just went to Italy for 2 weeks.
Cool.
So that's one thing that people don't think. They don't trust their staff. That's a huge one. They don't trust. Well, I can't trust them. And a lot of other restaurant owners say to me, "How do you get away? How do you take off?" Or I'm like, tonight we're going to another restaurant to eat, and people would say to me, "Well, aren't you closed? You must be closed." I'm like, "No, I'm not closed. I can't be closed. I'm open. I need to make money."
Yes, you do.
I need
Right. Trusting your staff is big and it's
It's
important. And
huge.
so there are people who feel they cannot. So what would you recommend?
So there's lots of tips and tricks in the book and on the website to do that. The first thing, like we have a policy where we give our staff a certain dollar amount so they can make a guest happy. If a guest complains on something, says they didn't like something, they have up to a certain dollar amount that is never questioned by Jamie and I that they have to make that guest happy. Over that threshold, then they have to get our approval.
Okay.
However, we've only been over that threshold once.
Wow.
And since we've been in
Wow.
business.
Once in all these years. How
Once
many years
in-
have you been there?
14, 15,
14? Really?
going on the
Wow.
15th year.
Wow, I would have said
So,
10.
if a
Wow.
guest says, well, we don't, I didn't care for the calamari, take it off the bill.
Okay.
It's a $12 dish, take it off the bill. You have the power to do that. But, when you go to a restaurant and you say, well, I really didn't like this dish, or this dish wasn't cooked right. And when they say, well, let me go talk to my manager, the staff's not empowered. So the staff was empowered, they would make it right then and there. And I want to
That's very
encourage
good.
guests, if you're in a restaurant and there's something not right, speak up. Don't use the line, well, I'm afraid to embarrass my guests or this and that. Then all of a sudden they go online later and write a bad review.
Yeah.
Give the restaurant a
Right
chance.
there, yeah.
Restaurants aren't in business to give bad experiences. Some restaurants aren't proper. The staff's not properly trained, or there's some kind of thing going on in the restaurant that they're not capable of providing you good service at the time. But talk to the restaurant owner,
That's
talk
right.
to the manager.
Mistakes do happen occasionally.
Mistakes happen.
Right?
We're
all
not
human.
We're not
Yeah.
perfect.
Uh-huh.
And if the restaurant owner says, "Well, gee, that's the way we do it," and too bad, then go online and write the review. I was at a great restaurant, a very fancy restaurant in Newburgh, and I just told the waiter and the manager, the dish I ordered, it didn't come out the way I expected it. The wording on the menu says this, and it wasn't cooked like that. If it says grilled, it should be grilled, not another way. And he goes, "Well, that's how we do it here." And I said, "Well, I suggest you just reword the menu because my expectation was what the menu says."
Right.
And they never did anything for me, never apologized. It was just, that's the way we do it.
Yeah.
Instead of saying, "Oh my gosh, I'm sorry, you're right, that might be confusing. Can I buy you dessert?" We were in Montreal, vacation with the kids, and the Caesar salad had bacon on it. It said it on the menu, and we asked for no bacon, and it came out with bacon on it. Now, they could have easily said, "We'll bring you another salad," which they did, and then the waiter right then and there goes, "I'm buying you all dessert." And you're like, wow, that's an empowered
nice.
staff. It's a
Yes.
staff member that can make a decision and do that without going to a manager. And for something simple like that, where they made a mistake, I don't want to say, well, I only go to my manager and this and that. And then sometimes the manager never comes to the table, right? So give your staff some kind of guide to have them make their own decisions.
Very important.
Don't let the manager to make every decision. And that's that. Because then once the staff feels empowered, they're going to make better decisions.
That's
but they're
right.
going to make bad decisions too, but you have to support them because you set the rule of you have this amount to make a guest
That's
happy.
right.
You
That's
can you
right.
can't say, well, that's not right, why'd you do that? You can simply critique it and say, I'm glad you took care of the guest. However, if it was me, this is how I would have done it. So you might want to approach it this way next time.
That's right. I stopped going to a restaurant in Gardner because I was told I wanted an extra plate. to get up and get it myself.
You gotta get
Can you imagine? I said, okay, that's it. We're done here.
We stopped going to a restaurant because they made us a Caesar salad, and it was a $12 salad, and we were sharing the salad, and to get extra plates was $6.
Whoa, that's ridiculous.
And that was the last time we went to that restaurant.
Yeah.
You know, and I said something
Yeah.
to the waiter, and he goes, well, I'm not the one who makes the prices. Again, more
yes,
just
yeah.
not empowered staff.
Yes, and my incident wasn't the first. This was the last, but there were a series of bad service things happening. So
he's like, I'm not the one who makes the prices. The owner's nephew makes the prices. That's not what I want to hear.
No.
You know,
Business.
say, you know what,
Yeah.
you're right. I'm not the one who makes the prices, but let me buy you dessert to make it up for you. Would that work? But instead they lost our business.
That's right.
And not that we went there often, but we went there once a year.
That's right.
So that was 8 years ago.
So it's 50mistakes.com?
50mistakes.com.
Okay.
And the new book is reasons why people still don't know you're in business. And tip number 1 in the book talks about getting on the internet. I got an email this week from somebody who's in the wine industry, and she goes, my brother-in-law has a restaurant. He's in a seasonal area, and he refuses to be on the internet. He refuses to be on social media.
Very foolish.
He thinks that his food alone is enough to keep the people coming back.
Not in this day and age.
Not at all.
Yeah.
People want to connect with you. They want to know that you're a real business. They want to be able to find you.
Mm-hmm.
And the way people are going to find you is through internet, through
That's
social
right.
media. And then your good food is going to keep them coming back.
Mm-hmm.
In the restaurant industry, it's 6 times easier to get a customer in the door for the second time than in the first time. So you really want to focus on your repeat customers.
Yes. Yeah.
And a lot of restaurants have priced their menus out. They've priced something out at a great price because they're not really making money on that particular dish. But once you buy French fries and once you buy a soda, that's where they make the money.
Yeah.
And so if you keep coming
Not to
back and
mention
doing
the
that,
bar. Yeah.
the bar, yes. The bar is a great place to make money. So,
but you have to be online. We're finding at the Shadowland more and more tickets are purchased online. If you want to reach a younger audience, you have to be online.
You have to be online.
Accessible.
You have to be online. Make it easy.
That's where they're looking.
Exactly.
That's where they book their.
We do a
tickets.
huge amount of gift card sales online.
Yeah.
And it's amazing. So a lot of restaurants a lot of businesses in general just haven't cleaned their Google listing, haven't cleaned their Yelp listing, haven't cleaned their TripAdvisor listing, which you claim and you take control of it and you post your hours, you post pictures, you post what you want your guests or your future guests, customers to actually see and view. And Google is such a powerhouse. In your listing. Claim your Google page.
Yeah.
I know so many restaurants and businesses, I Google them, and it's like, this business, are you the business owner? Claim this business. And it's like they're just losing out on a free tool.
Plus, some do not update it frequently enough. And
Exactly.
when I go to a website and I see that it hasn't been, that's a turn off to me.
Right, you go to a website and all of a sudden you're like, well, gee, calendar of events, and nothing's been posted for 4 months.
Yeah.
And it's like, okay, so you did this event
that shows
last
me negligence.
July.
Yeah.
How's that helping me right now?
It doesn't help at all. And it just shows that there's negligence, and it makes you wonder what else have they.
What else aren't they? Right.
Exactly.